Good morning, first grade. Welcome back to AMI week. All right, before we start this morning, I've got one more main idea question to ask you. So get out your AMI notebooks and I want you to write what you think the main idea of the passage is, what the passage is mainly about. And then we are going to read Junie B. Jones' Dumb Bunny by Barbara Park, and we're on chapter 5 today. All right, are you ready for your main idea? Here we go. Beth likes to swim with her friends at the beach. The best part of going to the beach is collecting shells. She likes to use shells to make jewelry. All right, there's my story. Do you think the main idea is Beth is a good swimmer, Beth likes to collect shells, or shells are easy to find? I'm going to read it one more time. Beth likes to swim with her friends at the beach. The best part of going to the beach is collecting shells. She likes to use shells to make jewelry. Is the main idea Beth is a good swimmer, Beth likes to collect shells, or shells are easy to find? All right, you can pause it and write your answer. I'm going to go ahead and tell you. The main idea is B. Beth likes to collect shells. We know this because she says the best part of going to the beach is collecting shells, and she uses the shells to make jewelry. So they're telling you what she likes to do with her shells. If you got it right, give yourself a smiley and your brain a kiss. If you got it wrong, just fix it and we'll try again next time. Tomorrow we're going to try some author's purpose, I think. So I'm going to read you a little passage and you're going to tell me what you think the author's purpose is. That's tomorrow. All right, so let's read chapter 5, The Jelly Bean Game. If I get to a page with a picture, I will go ahead and show you the picture so that you can see what it's like. If not, go ahead and make the picture in your brain while we're reading, because that's what good readers do. Lucille's daddy clapped his hands loud together. Boys and girls, please find a seat at once on the picnic tables. Lunch will be served shortly, he called. I waited to see where Sheldon was going to sit. May waited too, because both of us had to keep track of that guy, of course. Only too bad for me, because as soon as Sheldon picked a table, Lucille sat down next to him, and vroom, May slid in on his other side, and I got shut out. Wait, hold it, no fair, I said. Then I quick tried to squeeze myself between May and Sheldon, but May would not budge herself. I did a grrr face at her. Can you do a grrr face? May hissed like a snake. And I stood there puzzled. I do not actually have a comeback for a hiss. Finally, I went to the other side of the table, and I sat down across from them. And that dumb May, I grumped to just myself, she keeps getting on one step ahead of me today. Plus, Sheldon is one step ahead of me, too. I looked across the table. Lucille was whispering to Sheldon very secret. May leaned her head over and she listened through Sheldon's other ear. Whispers can come right through Sheldon's head, apparently. I put my chin on my hands. I don't stand a chance in this silly egg hunt, I said to Herb. He gave me a little pat. Sometimes a little pat is all a friend can do. Only guess what? Just then, something very nice happened, and it's called Lucille's Nana walked over to where I was sitting, and she sat in a chair at the end of my table. I jumped up real thrilled. Nana, look, it's me, it's Junie B. Jones, and you are sitting right exactly next to me, I shouted. The Nana glanced her eyes at Lucille's mother and daddy. Yes, I know, dear. I lost the coin toss, she said, kind of annoyed. I sat back down and tickled her arm. This reminds me of when we ate dinner together last year, I said. That was very fun, except I accidentally broke your crystal glass. Remember that, Nana? Huh? Do you? The Nana nodded. Oh, yes, I remember, she said. I thought back. Plus, I accidentally busted your feather pillow. And if I'm not mistaken, I spilled beanie weenies on your expensive linen tablecloth, I said. Then Anna looked at me. You're not mistaken, she said back. I smiled and patted her hand. Good times, I said real soft. May heard me talking. Well, Lucille and I are going to have good times too, right, Lucille? When I come to swim in your pool, that will really be good times, she said. Sheldon looked at her and grinned. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched, May, he said. The Nana did a little chuckle. I think you mean hatched, dear. It's don't count your chickens before they're hatched, not hashed, she said. Sheldon raised his eyebrow. Really? Are you sure? 'Cause at my house, my Aunt Bunny brings chicken hash for dinner every Sunday, he said. Chicken hash is her specialty. He smiled real proud. Aunt Bunny was a chef in prison, he said. The Nana's face went funny. She lowered her head to the table and she rested her cheek on her napkin. I leaned my face down next to her. Speaking of bunnies, Lucille said, the Easter Bunny would be here today, only I haven't actually seen him yet. And so, where is he anyway, Nana? I asked. Lucille did a huff at me. Nosy Junie B. Jones, why did you have to ask that question, she said. My Nana does not want to talk about that. Do you, Nana? You made a teensy little mistake about the bunny, and you don't want anyone to know about how you almost ruined the party. The Nana did a groan. Lucille kept on talking. My Nana was in charge of hiring the Easter Bunny, only instead of hiring a real Easter Bunny, she hired a cheap fake Easter Bunny. Right, Nana? The Nana did not reply. Lucille went on. The fake bunny came to our house to get his pay yesterday, only his fur was real matty and the top of his ear was chewed off. But he told my Nana that he freshened up nicely, and so Nana gave him cash money in advance. And then he hopped out the front door and he never came back. The Nana raised her head. Thank you, Lucille, she said. Thank you for sharing that with everyone. You're welcome, Nana, said Lucille, very pleasant. You're welcome. The Nana rolled her eyes. Lucille does not understand sarcastic, I believe. Just then, Lucille's daddy stood up at the picnic table, and he said it was time to get this show on the road. He held up the silver bell and rang it in the air. Ting-a-ling, ting-a-ling. Then, boom! Waiters started bringing food from all over the place. And it was the most delicious food I ever saw. There were barbecued hamburgers and tasty hot dogs and crispy chicken fingers and crunchy salad and yummy potato chips and Swedish pickles. Plus, there were even delicious deviled eggs. Whoa, what a spread, I said. I stuffed the devilish egg in my mouth. I also stuffed in a pickle and some chips and a giant chicken finger. I didn't stop stuffing for a real long time. Then finally, I leaned back and I rubbed my big fat tummy. Whew, I am about to bust, I guessed. I said, are you, Nana, huh? Are you about to bust a gusset too? The Nana frowned her eyebrows. Ladies don't bust gussets, Junie B., she said. I was surprised to hear that information. Really, I said. Then what do ladies bust? Roger raised his hand. At our house, we bust our guts, he said. Herb smiled. At our house, we bust our bottoms, he said. Sheldon stood up. At our house, we just unzip our pants, he said. After that, everyone at our table laughed and laughed, except for not Nana. Finally, all of us got finished eating, and the waiters took our plates away. Then, wowie, wow, wow, Lucille's daddy brought out the most beautiful box I ever saw. It was wrapped in shiny yellow paper with twirly, curly ribbons. He held it way high in the air so all of us could see. Whoa, whose birthday is it? I shouted, real excited. Lucille jumped up and giggled. That's not a birthday present, Junie B. It's a game prize, she said. Before we hunt for eggs, we're going to play a very fun game. And whoever wins that prize will get the thrill of a lifetime. Right, Daddy? The daddy smiled. Well, we certainly hope the winner will be thrilled, he said. It's a pretty good prize, we think. Just then, he put down the box and he pulled a big jar of jelly beans out of the paper bag. This game is called the jelly bean game, he said. Can everyone see the jelly beans in the jar? We've got lots of colors, don't we? We've got reds and yellows and blues and blacks and greens and whites and oranges and whites. Sorry. He stopped and held up his finger. But, he said, in this whole big jar of jelly beans, there is just one purple one. All of us made a hushy sound. Ooh, we said together, just one purple. The daddy smiled. Then he put the jar back in the bag so we could not see the colors anymore. Okay, now I'm going to walk around to each picnic table, and each one of you will have a chance to reach in the jar and pull out a jelly bean, he said. But remember, you may only pull out one, okay? Okay, we hollered, okay, okay. Lucille hurried over and held up the beautiful box. And remember this too, the first person to pull out the purple jelly bean will get this prize, she said. The thrill of a lifetime. All of us clapped and clapped. We bounced and giggled and wiggled and clapped and waited for the jelly bean jar to come to us. All right, I'm going to stop right there. You can pause me if you want. I want you to write in your AMI notebook, what do you think the most thrillingest prize ever is going to be that's in that box? Tell me what you predict is in that box that Lucille thinks is amazing. All right, here we go. It was the nervousest wait of my life, I think. Because what if someone got to the purple jelly bean before I even got my turn? That would ruin my whole entire chance. I put my hands in front of my eyes, then I peeked through my fingers. And I watched the children pick. Roger's table went first. He picked a red bean. Then Camille picked an orange bean. Then Chanel picked a green bean. And Shirley picked a blue bean. My table came next. My heart beat faster. Jose picked a yellow bean. Then Lenny picked a white bean. And May picked another white bean. And Sheldon picked a black bean. And then at last, it was time for me. My heart was pounding like crazy. I bent over and I did some deep breathing. The daddy held out the bag to me. I breathed some more. Okay, Junie B, he said, anytime now. I stood up and I did a big gulp. Then I very slow reached my hand inside. There's Junie B. Reached inside the bag and I felt all around for purple. I wrinkled my eyebrows, very curious. What does purple feel like, I wonder? I said that to just myself. Then Daddy said, please hurry up. I swished my fingers through the jar some more. Then all of a sudden, I felt it. I tell you, I felt purple. It felt roundish and beanish and purplish. I grabbed it real tight. Then I quick pulled my hand out of the jar and I opened up my fingers and guess what? Guess what? Guess what? You'll have to guess tomorrow because that is the end of this chapter. Chapter 6 is called Me and Santa. All right, so I'm going to end that today. I hope you guys had a very good weekend and that your AMI on PBS this morning went really well. You get to pick a couple of activities, an activity from each section to do. And I've already saw a few of them that have sent them in, so good job. And I will see you tomorrow.